I'm Scott from Cryptodira.
And I'm Mike from Cryptodira.
And we were asked kindly to present our 6 songs to die with. So we decided we're going to split it.
3 each.
3 each.
I am going to pick as my first song Isis, Threshold of Transformation. I was between a few songs with this. The whole thing that we were talking about was we have to kind of capture less our favorite songs and more our favorite moods, especially when split between 3. So I'm using this almost as a board to bounce a couple of ideas off of. One is the idea of song structure and moods within songs, and it takes care of a heavier type of mood as well as this kind of build that is like in Genesis of Air, the last track on the new EP, it kind of channels this kind of idea of let's build something and build something and build something until it reaches this kind of climax. And it's a bit different the way that they execute it than the way that we did. But, you know, I toyed around with the idea of putting Opeth Deliverance here, which I once did a podcast on, an entire podcast I was asked to do, my favorite song, essentially. And I picked that, but I'm not picking it for the song to die with. So, but I'm mentioning it, so it's kind of a bit of a cheat. So that's my one.
So,
It's the last track on their last real record, and I think it's their best record.
So for me, about a year ago, I think, Tommy from Between the Buried and Me shared a post from a band called Over. So for me, number 1 is Machine Guns and Peacock Feathers by Over.
Body with swords, machine guns, flowers, and peacock.
I saw Tommy post something about them. I'd never heard of it before. I clicked on it and I was like immediately enthralled. I got kind of into stuff like The Black Queen and Health, and this kind of scratched that itch, but in a way that neither one of them could because it was so much darker. And this song is, to Mike's point about the moods, this is my moving mood. This is getting in the car, this is windows open, this is like a nice day and I am absolutely moving. So if I'm gonna die with a few songs, I need one that's just gonna be nothing but fun for me. So that scratches that itch for me.
My number 2 is it's a bit of a cheat, and it's John Coltrane, A Love Supreme. And I'm doing all 4 parts because it's technically one song, 30 minutes. Written on Long Island in Huntington or Islip, I forget. I know he died in Huntington, but it is...
Long Island legend, John Coltrane.
He was, in a sense. Lived here with Alice and his kids. And he wanted to write a song that channeled God. And I think he did it. Me and friend Andy Pitcher once had a 30-45 minute conversation just about A Love Supreme.
Just longer than the song.
Just a little bit longer than the song, maybe 5 minutes longer. Oh no, because it's a 30-minute song. Well, maybe it was a 35-minute call. But it's a bit of a cheat in a sense because, like I said, it's 4 tracks technically, but it's one song. And I imagine that this is a desert island kind of scenario. And when you get sent to the desert island, you get your desert island books, your movies. I need this as my desert island song to read my desert island books to. And so I'm going Coltrane, unbelievable song. He found God in that song. Wrote it in his attic. Just came down for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Love supreme, love supreme, love.
Number 2 for me is King of Those Who Know by Cynic. I picked the song because I needed something to sort of represent my obvious love for prog metal and all that kind of stuff. But I think this band sort of represents that better than most, and I think more people need to talk about Cynic. King of Those Who Know, it's about like 6 and change minutes. There's so many changes from clean to distorted guitars in this song that if you're not paying attention, you almost don't even notice them, and that's something about it that's always absolutely like bewildered me. Because a lot of times, especially in prog metal, when you go from the super heavy stuff and then slam into a clean bit, it really can be a little bit jarring. And Cynic almost, like, it sounds like they did it very purposely, weave these super wet, clean guitar tones with these slightly lower gain heavy tones, and it's just like, you can barely even notice it's happening behind you, and yet the mood just jumps in such a perfect way. I'm also Mike can attest this, I am a chorus fanatic when it comes to guitar tones, so this song is just absolutely drenched in it. It's my favorite. The end little jazzy guitar solo, all the chromatics, is like one of the most perfect guitar leads I've ever heard in my life. So I just think it just checks all the boxes. It's heavy, it's clean, it's pretty, it's long enough. It just does everything for me. I think every Instagram guitar player needs to put their guitar down for like 45 minutes and put on Trace Snare and then start writing songs again. So that's number 2 for me.
My 3. I wanted to go lighter. I wanted to go poppier. I'm gonna throw in another. I wore the Rush shirt specifically because I was like, maybe I'll do a Rush song, and instead I'm just gonna wear the shirt, so that way it's almost a representation of, well, you know, it's in the back of my head.
It's breaking rules again.
Right. I'm gonna go with Joni Mitchell, Both Sides Now. Which, it's my favorite version of the song is not recorded by Joni Mitchell. It's by Judy Collins. But it's not off my favorite Joni Mitchell record, but there's a couple of different versions she recorded this, but specifically the one from Clouds. It's a song about perspective, and I think it's like truly beautiful. And if I'm on my desert island and I'm trapped, I need to look at things from different perspectives. And you know, I truly love her voice, the way she plays guitar, her utilization of open tunings. She's such a special musician and artist, and someone that I always complain, like my parents did such a good job showing me such good music, and I always kind of give them a little bit of a jab for Joni kind of slipping through the cracks. I'm like, well, this feels like it's right up your alley, but never quite landed the plane with that for them. So I found it some way.
I've looked at love from both sides now.
I'm gonna grab that torch from a couple of reasons. I did pick a Rush song, so that's number 1. And number 2, another one that slipped through the cracks for me and my parents too. So for me, number 3 is Rush, Limelight. It's a mega hit. It's not a deep cut. It's not a you gotta be a real fan to know this one kind of song. And yet I still think it's one of the best Rush songs and probably one of my favorite songs in the world. Another song that, much like the Over song, gets me moving and makes me, you know, kind of happy, but in a totally different way. Rush is pure good mood. I cannot listen to Rush in a bad mood. I can't be put in a bad mood while I'm listening to Rush. And if I'm gonna be on, you know, my deathbed or a desert island or whatever the scenario is, I need something that's going to make me happy. Another song that I find production-wise be perfect. I love the guitar tones. I love the way there's the sort of saturated, again, chorus-heavy, wet tone for the for the chorus. And then when the chorus comes back at the end, it's such a subtle change, but then there's like an overdrive pedal right in front of it. And now it's like just the same sort of familiar wet sound, but just with a little more oomph behind it. And I love it. I think another thing I love about this song is the guitar solo section. The first note coming in like so instantly, like before even the downbeat, and it just like holds over this long pause. Love that. And the way the intensity builds with the guitar solo. So like I feel like a lot of times in metal and rock, things build up to the guitar solo, and this song builds you up to it just to drop it like the whole floor out from underneath you. And then it's this sort of like trance-like sway that's going on that builds with the band underneath the guitar solo. So it's almost like the building continues. And I think it's just a really cool concept. And just above all, one of my favorite songs in the world to just put on and get through. And when it's on, I'm like, man, if I hit repeat again right now, I'd be fine with it. I could listen to that song twice in a row. So that's it for me.
Should we hijack this, do our Mount Rushmore of Rush songs? Or should we end it?
I think in the interest of Lambgoat, we should probably end it. But thanks for your time. We are Scott.
Mike.
And we are from Cryptodira. We have a new EP coming out called Genesis of Error on Silent Pendulum Records. So thanks for checking us out.
Mystic Rhythms, 2112. Farewell to Kings.
Enough of that.